Hello, I'm Alan Simpson, and this is a video about Path of Exile 2. I think that since Path of Exile 1's season is winding down for a lot of people, maybe people are giving Path of Exile 2 another try now that all of the quality of life patches have rolled out. I'm basing this on nothing other than the amount of trade requests I've gotten in the past couple of days. In the background, you're going to see some gameplay here. We're about to fight Candle Ass, and you'll notice that I am level 15 and my weapon is a piece of garbage that I found on the ground many levels ago. But you're going to see regardless, we do pretty good amounts of damage to this boss. So I wanted to throw this video out there and submit that the explosive grenade build for Mercenary may be one of the League starter builds of all time. I thought the build was doing really well last season, but whenever I heard Mark Roberts say that he thought crossbows were underpowered, I thought I should give it another try in Season 2.
Crossbows now, for example, just a quick change, is like instead of using one-handed damage mods for added damage, they use two-handed and their base damage. And then all the skills now have a higher growth per level because they scale with other external factors like attack speed less because they have the reload time.
And look, I mean, it's really powerful now. At some point I was playing the game and I was like, look, nothing can stand up against me. I'm just going to play the game until something forces me to interact with one of the systems in this game. So I think like maybe a few levels ago I assigned some passive skill points, but that's about it since almost the beginning of the game. The grenades just have such a tremendous damage modifier that you don't really need that much to get through the game. This trend pretty much continued all the way through the game. I actually killed Geonor with the same weapon because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Something old, something new. Something borrowed, something blue.
So, how does it feel to play? Well, in terms of what's come to be called moment-to-moment gameplay, I find this to be really fun. You have to be constantly analyzing the field, determining where the enemies are going to meet you, shoot your grenades there in advance, and then roll into them, at least in the beginning of the game. By the end, you've switched over to a 1-2 combo where you're shooting grenades and then activating them with explosive shot. So at this point, as your attack speed grows, you can kind of bring this combo closer and closer to the enemy's current location, to the point where you're almost like rolling directly into the monsters. I started up this build after crashing and burning on the Huntress in Act 2. I will link you the video that I was watching in Season 1 that convinced me to play it in the description. But this isn't so much of a class guide as it is like a post-mortem on having played it already. Bear in mind that a lot of this footage was recorded before all of the quality of life patches rolled through. This is probably like patch B or something. C maybe? I don't know. The clip has the date on it. I could go and look and see what patch it was on. But so here's kind of my advice for... I think that Witch Hunter definitely makes a lot of sense. Culling Strike is cool, Decimating Strike is awesome. With your first 30 levels or so, I think it would do something that looks a little bit like this. Being that the build carries so much offensive power right at the beginning, you don't really need to build that much in the passive tree, and so I like to go for a little bit of defense right off the bat. And then over here we're going to build into some attack speed. I personally think that the explosive grenade feels a lot better with attack speed. It keeps you at your top running speed a lot better. Then I think I would start building offense. You want to go down here and pick up all of this grenade damage, and also this +1 cooldown use on grenade skills. Also, grenade skills fire an additional projectile. That one is nice, but it does cause you to have increased grenade detonation time. I picked up this 25% reduced to kind of try and counteract it, but it didn't feel so great, so this is actually whenever I switched over to detonating with explosive shot. At that point I wanted to go down and get more attack speed, and then it was easy to go over here and get more AoE damage and all of that stuff. I feel like this fire pin node is really good. From there it's kind of dealer's choice. I mean, I went down here and had this grenades have 15% to activate a second time. There's some stuff for rare and unique enemies down here in the corner. Crossbows are two-handed weapons, so these nodes do apply. And there's a sneaky little 15% increased AoE. And don't forget about reload speed, because that's the thing that's going to slow you down on your explosive shot. Speaking of which, we definitely want to equip Nimble Reload on Explosive Shot. I went with Mobility as well, it seems to help. And then Inevitable Critical, since I'm going to be using it kind of on a rotation, it can build up a little bit of extra crit. For Explosive Grenade, this has actually changed just a little bit since Season 1. They don't allow you to use both AoE gems on the same skill anymore, so I did end up going for Concentrated Effect for more damage. In addition to that, it's pretty simple. Scatter Shot gives us more projectiles, Fire Infusion for more damage, Martial Tempo for more attack speed, and then I ended up going with Life Thief, and you might think that's weird because we're converting most of our damage to fire. But we're doing so much damage, AoE damage to so many things, that actually does end up healing you quite a bit. In a support scenario, I enjoy a Flash Grenade. I'm running Attrition with my Spirit, Cluster Grenade in case I need a little bit extra firepower. I've run out of cooldowns on Explosive Grenade. Honestly though, like it's not that big of a problem. By the way, I finally have found a pretty decent crossbow. At the end of everything, our cooldown time with Explosive Grenade is 2.26 seconds. I do kind of wonder what kind of broken scenarios you could get into with any flat cooldown reduction. Aside from that, I've been playing my take on Alkaiser's Falling Thunder build, a paper-thin version.
Hey, let me know what you've been playing down in the...
This build is so much more dependent on corpses to really do anything for any extended period of time, though it's hard to give it a full recommendation. It's particularly useless in Simulacrum and doesn't do too well in Delirium, because they don't leave behind any bodies. The only problem that Explosive Grenade has is on particularly high HP bosses, which this build honestly struggles with it as well until you figure out how to deal with it. And I'm sure there's something you can do with a crossbow too. There's still a ton of room on that build for more gems, so I mean there's a lot of room to experiment there. But if you're looking for something just easy to get you through to T15 maps, man, I mean look at my gear whenever I got to T15. I mean, it doesn't take much. Maybe if someone out there is looking to get back into the game, this is the push they needed. I'll see you later.